So I was hoping that this would have been like a sequel to maybe his like Dawn of the Dead, and he was maybe going to
Oh
come back to
yeah.
that universe, because I listen, I know Dawn of the Dead is a fantastic masterpiece of horror. Like it is
Yeah, the
very
70s
well
one.
done. The 70s one. It is awesome. It's fantastic. But I love Zack Snyder's version of it as well. They're just two different things in my opinion.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, one's got the that's the first time no.
No, 28 Days Later was the
Yeah,
first like fast zombies.
which
Yeah,
technically were infected with with a rage virus,
rage virus. Yeah.
but yeah, Zack Snyder applied that to like
That
zombies.
concept.
And that opening is
Yep.
one of the best openings ever with Sarah
Oh
Pauli.
yeah.
Fuck.
Yep. And it's so oh man, it's great because I'm picturing that whole thing because she's like leaving the hospital.
I just got
she can't,
goosebumps.
Like, yeah. Like
Yeah.
she's like shit's already going down and she just doesn't realize it, right?
Yeah.
And like she gets home and then wakes up and the neighbor girl is there and like standing in their bedroom and then like fuck and her husband like that scene where she is driving and he is sprinting after her car.
Yeah.
Sprinting as fast as he can. And it's only because somebody else is out watering their lawn that he veers off and like
Oh, right. To go
like,
get them instead. Yeah.
Yep. Oh man. It's that. Yeah. No, I love that. So I was really hoping that he was kind of trying to get back into that universe, Have you seen the trailer for this? Have you seen anything on this one at all?
No, I just have heard the title, and it didn't occur to me what you suggested, but from your tone, I'm guessing it's not a sequel or in that realm.
It's not. It's not even in that universe. No, it's kind of. I don't know. We could watch the trailer.
Yeah,
for
that's
that
fine.
Too,
Yeah,
if you wanted to. Let me.
Yeah,
let me
that's.
bring up.
Yeah, you picked the version and all.
So this has Dave Bautista is the main character.
Yeah, I love him as Drax.
Oh yeah, that character was made for him.
He played Tom Poe too in the Kickboxer reboot.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So he, I heard an interview with him once where he was just like, I want to do serious acting, but I can only get cast as these big hulks, and I'm like, so you're a big fucking Hulk, man.
Exactly.
Like, you don't look like a human being, so they're not going to cast you to play a human being. Like,
also, you don't get that way by accident. It takes a lot of work to get looking like that.
Like, if you want to seriously act, like, don't be that big. Like, just stop working out for a little. I know I'm really minimizing it, and it's like, I mean, he's an Adonis. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, he's gorgeous. Like, but man, stay in your lane. You're a big guy. Just do big guy stuff. It worked for Arnold, right? Like,
yeah.
And then when you get old and you like you stop worrying about that as much, and then you can do the like more fun, serious stuff. Like Arnold's done some of that too, So,
JC has got the best sense of humor about himself as everybody, but he uses that to play. Like that's the thing you'll see in all these movies. Like he's always putting on these costumes and stuff, but when you do that, I feel like that's his way of getting to play other things. He doesn't really get to do it, but he's like, look, if I'm stuck in this little box, you got to let me play a little bit.
Exactly. No, and I think that's smart. And just knowing it, So, and I also don't want to minimize his acting abilities. He's in the opening scene from Blade Runner 2049.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
We have to get Twinkie on to talk about that because I finally made it through it. And it is moving at how good of a movie that is. I know.
Oh, that's exciting.
It absolutely blew me away when I finally got through it and just like, but he's in the opening scene of that. He is a good actor. That's the thing. But it's like, you can be a good actor in action movies. You'll make the action movie better if you're doing that, So
yeah.
Yeah.
I watched that movie he was in with Kumail Nanjiani. Am I saying that name right? It's like it's a pretty throwaway movie, but he was fun in it. They were both fun in it. And there's this one scene where they're fighting. Can't think of what it's called. But they're fighting. Like he's a huge guy, cop fighting people, and Kumail's just like, just defeat him. It's one of my favorite things in the last few years. That was his encouragement to the fight. Just defeat him.
That's
I can't think of the
hilarious.
name of it. I guess it doesn't matter, but
He's in. Let me see here. He's got a lot of shit coming out, like Army of the Dead, WWE Survivor Series. Stop wrestling. That's the other way. If you want to be a serious actor, stop fucking wrestling.
oh, he's an active wrestler. He came from that world.
Yeah, Batista. It was who he was as a wrestler.
Oh, so like WWE type thing? I didn't realize that at all somehow.
My Spy, is that it?
Oh, it's Stuber. That's what it is, because Kumail plays an Uber driver.
Oh, Stuber, I see it.
It's silly, but I don't know. It was really fun.
Yeah, and I still stand by it's Kevin Kline's statement when he won the Golden Globe for the Ice Storm. It was the same year that In and Out came out.
Oh yeah,
and he was much more proud of his work in In and Out than he was of the Ice Storm. And he said in his acceptance speech for the Ice Storm, it's a lot harder to make somebody laugh than it is to make them cry. And he pretty much walked off the stage after.
Nice.
He said that. Yeah, like
drop.
Yep. So
especially in the with like to make, you can do things in movie, like you can do the music, so much relies on the editing, all of that kind of stuff, and you can pull those heartstrings, but you can't. And I think there's a similar balance with the comedy, but it is, I haven't done enough myself to like speak from like experience like they do, but I can imagine how it would be a harder magic trick to pull off, because you can't just put funny music under something and have it work.
Yep.
It could make it ridiculous.
Exactly.
Well, let's check this out. This Army of the Dead. I got it ready. It's another Netflix. Right. That's right, of course.
Yeah, it's right on Netflix. Actually, I think Warner Brothers sold it to Netflix, and in hindsight, they regret doing it. So,
because of the theater situation and all that.
No, I don't think it necessarily that. Just that it did better than they thought it would. So, and I think they're trying to mend their relationship with Zack Snyder because they want to reboot his version of the DC universe. So,
we should talk about that a little. But in general, like, I haven't seen a lot of his movies. In fact, in this podcast, they mentioned the thing about him being, the Dawn of the Dead guy, because the remake, 2004 remake, because they had followed his career at some point, which I had completely forgotten and possibly never actively knew. That, like, put it together like, oh, that's the 300 guy, and does he do like Sucker Punch, and I don't know. There's like a pretty distinctive thing that he does. That is well, it's maybe not for me, but that's okay. And I respect the fact that he like goes all in on it.
Yeah,
and it's not quite there in Dawn of the Dead though. Like, that hadn't emerged. I
really think he got that stylized look that is his, because he did 300, I think.
Yeah,
that's where he really refined that look.
Yeah,
and then he tried to apply that on other stuff. That like saturated,
slow-mo, so much slow-mo. Like,
so
not John Woo slow-mo, but like even more slow-mo than John Woo. It's crazy.
Yeah. So
he does like speed ramps within speed ramps. Like, it'll be slow-mo and then it'll kind of move up and then it'll slow again. It's wild. But so this is his latest.
It's like Michael Bay. I compare Zack Snyder and Michael Bay a lot. Their styles are very similar.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I could see that. But Michael Bay is like Michael, but like Zack Snyder he's like it's more cartoonish. I think that's what it is. It's like so much more pronounced. It's like the most extreme Instagram filter type deal.
I love Watchmen though. Have you seen Watchmen?
The film? Was that his film, right?
That's it.
I saw it when it came out, and I don't remember it super well. TV series is fucking great, but I don't think anything to do with that.
No, but that's a continuation of his movie. It's like
it's its own thing, because the movie was a remake, or the movie was the graphic novel, the renowned graphic novel, but the television show is actually its own thing. Like, it's like it is based on all those characters, but it's not retelling any of the stories.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. That I can't. I mean, it is superheroes, but in a different way than we're used to seeing. I don't know. I loved that series more than I thought. And I think I mentioned the guy that plays Larry Underwood plays a younger version of one of the, because so in the Watchmen movie, like there's all the heroes and they're kind of like, some people hate them and all this, and but in the TV series, it's after all that. It's like a long time after all that. And so people are looking back on it and they almost like remember them like they were on TV or something. Gotcha. And so one of the heroes that they remember, that the origin story has the dude who plays Larry Underwood, and it's the best origin story I've ever seen. Wow. It's so cool. And I mentioned I did the little wraparound or intro thing to I put our stand episode out before the first half of that conversation that we had last, whatever it was. Yeah. So I mentioned in that it was in Watchmen that was where I heard about the Tulsa Race Massacre. I never heard of that ever. That's how that show opens. And at first I thought it was just a fiction of the show, and only later found out that it was a real thing. And I guess like this is the 100th year anniversary of it, like where they wiped out Black Wall Street or whatever. But anyway, I don't want to give too much away, but a big pitch for TV show Watchmen. Fucking amazing. And you're telling me that you were also a big fan then of the Watchmen movie, which now I want to re-see.
As far as like Zack Snyder stuff goes, if Zack Snyder is not your, like, I feel like that one stands out. His Dawn of the Dead stands out. But I understand what you mean about it looking kind of cartoony. And thinking back at Army of the Dead, I really feel like there's a lot of, who's the guy that directed Dawn of the Dead? Not Dawn of the Dead. Evil Dead.
Oh, Sam Raimi.
Sam Raimi. Yeah, that's who I thought it was. I feel like there's a little bit of homages in the like style of makeup that they use in this Army of the Dead to his style of making people look, especially in the Evil Dead. Anytime somebody would get possessed, their features would change. And the zombies in this Army of the Dead remind me of that. But
cool.
we've been teasing around this for like long walk for this. But let's watch this and then we'll dissect this a little bit. And I won't give. Okay. I probably will spoil the shit out of it. Sorry. So
that's okay. I'm quasi curious, but I'm much more interested to talk about it with you.
Yeah. All right. So let's on 3 and 3.
Actually, I'm not including the trailer because it's mostly the cover song that we'll talk about after, and couldn't necessarily follow a lot of it via audio, and we didn't talk through it much, and we don't want to get dinged, but we do want you to see the trailer. So if you go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com, maybe you're already there, /longwalkshortdrink, you can see videos mentioned on the show. You can actually see the Universal Monster Classic Collection that I was talking about. You can see like the commercials from 1991 that people published on YouTube. And then also the trailer for the Van Damme movie and the trailer for Army of the Dead, which you can just watch without any interference from us. So I encourage you to do that. And then now back to Palmer and I talking about, well, you go watch it now. So go ahead and watch it now. I'll put a link in the show notes as well. And then come back and hear us talk about it. So tell me, like, what was your reaction to seeing this movie, Army of the Dead?
So there is, I don't know how much you have seen in the news about it, but like, without giving away which character or actor it is, one of the actors was added, their performance was added in post-production. And
I know that happened, but I don't know who. I think I knew who was replaced, but I don't know who was.
Yeah, so I'm not going to tell you. So don't seek that out if you're going to watch it. Don't seek that out because I'm curious to see. I knew that going into it, and it was very telling knowing that.
I know it's a comedian situation. So yeah, I wonder if I'll be able to tell.
I told Ash I wondered in hindsight, if I had not known that, if I would have fallen for the trick. But knowing it up front, it was a little obvious. And maybe obvious, and that's a perceived obvious, right? Like you're like, oh, that person's not actually there. So that I definitely don't research that anymore. What is probably enough to give it away.
It may come back to me too, the person replacing.
So but even that person was just fucking fantastic. Just like awesome. And the performances were really good. There were 2 times that they try to inject a little bit too much drama into it, I feel like. And it's like, this has been a buddy quibby action movie, and then we're stopping to do these. And I know that happens. It just felt out of place. Both times that it happens, it felt out of place. Yeah. So other than that, though, awesome. Really good. I mean, you're not going to get anything new. It's not like he revolutionizes the zombie genre or the action genre or the action horror genre or anything like that. Like, it's not like he revolutionizes anything. You're not getting any. It's a great popcorn movie. That's probably the best. Like, it's a great, like, Gone in 60 Seconds or one of those where you're just like, it's this awesome ensemble cast that you'll never be like, when you find out people haven't seen it, you're never going to be like, oh, we got to watch this right now. With some, where some movies are like that. It's just a fun movie. Like, you just suspend a little disbelief, escape a little bit. That's kind of been my theme this year anyways, is trying to like get out of reality a little bit and just like, and this fit in there pretty well.